Alright, welcome back to Resident Evil. So, right here, there are some notes here that give us some good old tips as to what to do with the zombies in this game. The only way to truly kill a zombie, and this is really the only game in the series that does this with the zombies at least, is to destroy the head, destroy the brain, or incinerate it. This is an aspect of this game that I do like. I think it's unique. Because there is a... Oh, hey, how about that? That was really lucky. So, there's an aspect of this game that comes in a little bit later on that makes destroying the head, like I just demonstrated there, or burning the body, makes it very useful and really something that you should do. And I gotta say, I was talking about this a little bit before in the last video, but I think this is like the most perfect remake of a video game. I can't really think of any others that quite surpass this. I brought up the Twin Snakes in the previous video as kind of an example of that's a good remake, but it doesn't completely upheave everything and just straight up make it a better game. Like this game, if you were to look at the original Resident Evil and then like take two rooms, one that are in both games, and compare the way they look, you'll notice how much better this game is, not just graphically, but mood-wise as well, because this game has really great lighting, really great atmosphere, the rooms all look really creepy. The original game, everything's like really brightly lit, the rooms don't look very creepy, I'd say, they just kind of look like, I don't know, they just kind of look like generic mansion. It was clearly that the monsters were supposed to scare you in that game, but just this mansion, this Spencer Mansion, is just so good. So here's what we want to do. We want to fill this up with kerosene, and then we can just light the deceased zombies on fire. Otherwise, you know what, I'll just spoil it because we won't be encountering them that often. The zombies will come back after a while. I don't know if every time they will, but there's a chance they will come back as a new enemy called Crimson Heads, which are like 1,000 times more aggressive. They're faster, they can run, they've got these big old claws that'll just do a whole lot of damage to you. So we really don't want Crimson Head showing up, so if you kill a zombie in an area you're going to come back to a bunch, burn it.
Barry.
Jill, got any good news?
Other than I'm still alive in this madhouse? No.
Can't say it's much safer here either. We'd better secure our escape route first. There's gotta be a back door somewhere.
Alright then, let's split up again.
Hey, hold on a sec. Look what I've found.
What?
A can of fizz. It's sure to yellow and mellow those things. It's yours. Hopefully you won't have to use it.
What a terrible line of dialogue.
What about you?
Oh, don't worry. I like the buddy system we have here.
I see. Thanks, I'll take it.
See you later.
Ciao.
Bye. See you later. Ciao. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Sayonara. Might as well have just added in a few more ways for them to say goodbye to each other. Man, some of the cutscenes in this game are just bizarre and just no good. As I was saying in the last video, I actually sincerely think that some of the lines in the original game were better. Like, the lines themselves were better. The line delivery is what made those lines. pretty infamous. You know, I don't think... Well, the line in this game wasn't that bad either. You know, I believe in the buddy system, or whatever. It's not as good or as quotable as, I have this. Which also, is that canon anymore? Because I would assume this game supersedes the original in terms of canon. But in this game, Barry never once says, I have this. Which he then references in Revelations 2. Same with Jill Sandwich. Claire references Jill Sandwich. So, I don't know, who knows? I would assume they're both canon or something. I don't know. Anything that contradicts isn't canon in the first one. I really don't know. The canon of Resident Evil has never really been all that confusing, but this one is just like... Well, this is a remake. You would assume, since it ties a lot more things together with the overall series... Well, that guy on the motorcycle was really cool. It ties more things with the series overall. So I would assume this was canon, but... They reference original lines, and I don't know, I'm just confused. Take note of that room. I don't know when we're going to get around to it. Maybe this video, maybe the next. But we are, in fact, going to have to come here pretty quickly. So just remember where that save room is and how to get there from like the main hall. So just keep that in mind. So this is a battery pack. What that is Jill has, what is it? I think it's just a stun gun. What you do is it works exactly like the defense knife. Once you got a zombie grabbing you, you just press, I think, R2, and Jill stuns them. I don't know which one works better. I feel like I've actually been able to kill zombies pretty quickly with the stun gun, or at least they don't get up for a while. So the kerosene, I guess I should get into this a little bit more. I don't really have a whole lot of advice when it comes to this. It's really just if you've played the game before, you kind of know what to do. You know what areas you go back to a bunch, and you know which areas you completely never go back to again. If there's an area in this game where, god damn it, where you know you're going to be back here and there's a zombie in the area, I'd say get rid of them. You know, burn the body, or if you get a headshot, so that is a good idea to do that. Like here, we're going to be back here quite a bit, which is why I burned that one guy. Again, we don't want to make them into crimson heads. That would in fact be no good. So this has always been one of my least favorite parts of the game, just because it's kind of wonky, and I never like fighting these enemies in any of the Resident Evil games. So what you do is you use the dog whistle, and lo and behold, here are some zombie dogs. Yeah, the thing with the zombie dogs is that I usually never really deal with them. I almost always run around the zombie dogs in any of these games. There are very select areas in any of these classic games where I actually deal with the zombie dogs. Like if you watch my Code Veronica Let's Play, I don't think I killed a single dog in that game. But in this game, they kind of make you fight some dogs, which I don't think is really all that great. So, examine this, and of course, there is this little thing inside, which if you now examine this, turns into a key, because Resident Evil, I guess. Like, you really gotta think about how screwed up the people that, like, built this mansion, commissioned this mansion, and everything like that are. Because not only do they have all these cryptic rooms in here where you gotta like put a shotgun on a wall and then the ceiling comes down, and you know, really dumb puzzles and stuff. Not only that, but you got dogs that have collars that have hidden things in them that turn into keys, and it's just like, what? The more you think about what you're doing in classic Resident Evil games, the dumber it then becomes. There's also an option in this HD remaster. Like I said, this is a really good version of this game. I would say definitely the definitive version. There's an option for you to play it like I'm playing it right now, which is widescreen. And there's also an option, I think it's called like Original, which is just letterbox, which I have absolutely no clue why anyone would possibly see the benefit of playing this game in letterbox. Because like, I've played the GameCube version, I've played the Wii version. I've had just about enough of staring at this game in letterbox. So I really don't know why that's an option. Because I really can't think of any benefit. Like, it cuts off part of the screen. So I really just don't get it. This is another area. Actually, yeah, I think that was a Crimson Head right there. I was literally about to say this is a room where you should probably burn the bodies, because we'll be coming through here a lot, and it's pretty narrow space. So this is the key we actually need, which means previously that dog thing is even dumber now. Speaking of dumb, but yeah, the dog wasn't even holding like a key, it was holding like a fake key that you put in here that stops this puzzle. So I really don't know what's going on inside this mansion. The fellow who designed this mansion is a guy by the name of George Trevor. I think his first name is George. He designed quite a lot of the architecture in Resident Evil, or at least he designed this mansion. And then, is that a Crimson? Yes, that is absolutely a Crimson Head. I don't know if he designed other things in the series, but clearly his design inspired quite a lot of other things. Like the mansion in Code Veronica, the Queen Zenobia from Revelations, the other Spencer mansion in Lost in Nightmares. Very similar things going on here. There are a lot of locations in the Resident Evil series that are very familiar, or I guess very similar to the Spencer mansion. Trevor isn't I wouldn't say he's nuts really, because Spencer and I guess Umbrella commissioned him to design and build this house. So he's not the one that's nuts. It's the people who commissioned it, I think. But we'll learn more about George Trevor and the Trevor family as the game goes on. And you'll notice in that dining room area, that statue I pushed down there was a glowing thing there. Like I said in the last video, we really don't need to worry about that right now. Not at all. In fact, I don't think we'll need to worry about that until we're about to leave the mansion entirely. Well, I mean, I guess at any point we really could have just grabbed it and put it in our in an item box, but I just don't feel like it. It's a waste of time. When you've played this game this much and you follow kind of the same path you always take, you kind of know what you do and don't want to do and how to save time and stuff like that. So there's a defensive dagger. So this is, I think it's Forrest Spire. He is a dead man. He died. He has the grenade launcher, which is, I do believe, exclusive to Jill. I don't think Chris gets this, which is a real shame because the grenade launcher is really useful, as you would expect a grenade launcher to be, but it's, I'm telling you, there's going to be a point in this game where we're going to just switch to the grenade launcher, and that's going to be our main weapon. Forrest, Old Dead Forrest out there, if that's his name, I might be misremembering, but Forrest is a unique enemy because there's a difficulty mode in this game, or like an extra mode called One Dangerous Zombie. Once you encounter Forrest, he then becomes like an invincible, or not an invincible, but he just has a bunch of grenades strapped to him, and he'll pop up at random times to make puzzles
Richard!
and sections a lot more annoying
What
than they're
happened?
supposed to be.
You're wounded.
This whole place is a killing zone. There are monsters.
What did this to you?
A big snake. And it had to be poisonous.
Poisonous? Richard, hold on.
Bring me serum. I saw some, but didn't bring any.
I'll go and get it, okay? You're gonna make it.
Thanks.
So we have to get our boy here some serum, and the area that the serum is located in is, yeah, there you go, they show you on the map. It's that one save room that I told you not to forget where it is. So, that's that. Just gotta backtrace, I done goofed. You know, you just gotta back step there. And I gotta say, all these people on Stars are just terrible. Most of them are dead. The only people that we know are alive are, by the end of this game, you know, spoilers for a really old game, Chris, Jill, Barry, and Rebecca. And I think, at least according to the S.D. Perry novel, this is one of, if not Jill's first mission in Stars. And all these, like, experienced guys are just dead, and Brad just runs away because he's scared. At least while we take our brief detour, we get to hear this music. Deposit this now just because we don't need it now. There's no reason to have it now. It's not till the end of the game that we're really going to be able to use that to its advantage. So now we just got to run all the way back to our pal. I have forgotten his name at the moment. Where'd this guy come from? Should I... I don't really feel like burning that guy. Did these guys respawn, or did they just, like, scripted to come at this point? I don't remember them being there. Or did I not deal with them in the first place? I don't know. That's another thing I think you kind of learn after you've played this game so long, is if you want to zombie dodge, like which zombies to leave alive because you'll never come back to this room, or which to just dodge completely, which ones you should take care of because you'll be coming back to the area, you know, X amount of times. So that's really the only, that's like really only with experience can you figure that stuff out. Like, there's gonna be a guy in that hallway that I never kill because you could just dodge right around him.
Here, Richard. I'm gonna give you a shot. Hang in there.
Jill, here's my radio. Take it. I'm... Does it ever not hurt?
I don't know what that means, Richard. So, saving Richard, I think his last name is Aiken? Richard Aiken, I want to say. Saving him isn't necessary, you don't need to do it, but especially your first time through, I'd say it's actually very, very useful. Yeah, there should be a zombie around here that I usually just straight up don't bother with. I guess he spawns at some other point. But saving him isn't necessary. For beginners, I would suggest doing it because there is a part in the game that he is very useful in, and if he dies, he obviously cannot help you there. So, first time through, and honestly, even subsequent times through, I would say just do it. It doesn't take more than 2 minutes to go give him the serum, so there's not really a big deal in doing it. But anyway, that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of Resident Evil. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.